and gentlemen, it was recently revealed that James Vick was actually in a coma after his most recent fight in karate combat against Rafael Alves. Asim Zaldi, the president of Karate Combat, recently reported that James Vick was completely unconscious for 2 days after the knockout and was actually put in a coma as a result. Obviously, Vick has been on a pretty significant downward spiral in his career. He's lost 5 fights in a row in the UFC. He was knocked out 4 out of 5 of those times, and most recently, earlier in the summer, he took an absolutely brutal knockout to Rafael Alves. Although James Vick is largely seen as a meme in the MMA community, he was actually seen as a pretty decent prospect at one point. When he first joined the UFC back in 2013, he was a 4-0 undefeated prospect and ended up winning his UFC debut by submission via guillotine choke within the first minute of the first round. He ended up going on a bit of a streak, increasing his win total to 9-0 before losing to Beneil Dariush via knockout, one-punch knockout in the first round. That was back in 2016. But Vick bounced back, winning 4 fights in a row, and then finally, that's when things collapsed. He lost to Justin Gaethje via knockout, and since then, he has not won a single fight in MMA. He lost 3 more fights in the UFC, and then ended up going to ex-MMA, where he ended up losing via knockout as well. Of all the crazy downfalls we've seen in MMA, I don't think I've seen a downfall worse than James Vick's, only because a lot of with these awful downfalls that we see with people like Tony Ferguson or Anderson Silva or BJ Penn, these people were at least champions in some capacity, or at least high-leveled fighters at some capacity, where somebody like James Vick was strictly a really highly touted prospect who just completely fell off before he had the opportunity to get anywhere near the title. And now, obviously, with this most recent news of James Vick being put in a coma and unconscious for 2 days as a result of his most recent karate knockout, I really think that James just needs to stay far away from the sport. What do you guys think?